Yes, people. I hope you are all well, wherever it is that you may be. I'm your host, Jim.
And I'm your other host, Ads. Roll the intro.
Don't know how I'm here, and it's you that I want to need. Feel your heart beat. Feel so
What banging intro.
Yes, people. That intro just sounds better and better. Every time I hear it, the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, bang, that is such a sick intro, I swear. But anyway, people, it was a bit random. We wasn't meant to actually be going live right now, but we thought, you know what? I feel a bit up for chatting to people, talking about content, you know. So we're going to talk about everyone out of the top six at the moment, if we can. We will revert back to the top six, but mainly it's going to be out of the top six. So the Evertons, the Wolves, the Villas. We're going to get you as the viewers involved as well. So we will share that link out to you very soon. In the terms of the panelist, we have the infamous, the one and only Ladimus Prime.
What up, boys? What?
You just don't surprise me.
Right. I'm going to get to a few of the comments first, people. Obviously, we have Hashtag in the building. We have Chris. We have Lancy. We also have Hashtag saying NDL. Big up to all of you, lads. And we also have a message here from Hashtag saying CFC Gem. Not going to lie, you kind of look like a cartoon character. Because of the hair, innit?
Let us know what cartoon character he looks like.
I must be a sexy cartoon character, though. Come on, guys. Come on. Give me a good
Jam.
view.
We don't need to know
Is he worthy?
Jam. We don't need to know about the cartoons that you look at those websites, man. Come on.
Why is this blood on the left got a crap camera? Who's that? Oh, he's talking to you, Ads.
Why the blood on the left got a crap camera? It's a good camera. I think it's a good camera. I think I'm coming.
Why does he have a bad camera? Well,
it's more like his Wi-Fi, isn't it?
Jam hasn't paid him yet. That's why. Jam hasn't paid him yet. That's why.
Payment yet. Come on, guys. I need the views. Get the views in, and I can start paying people. Jeremy Wani. With a smile. Samuel. Samuel, what's going on?
Samuel, man, big up to you, bro.
Samuel don't like me, unfortunately, because me
and
him always disagree.
Man like Jerry in the building.
Who's Ben?
Sorry?
Who's Ben?
Who? What are you talking about?
Guys, right, let's get on to football. Yeah, this is what we're here about, to talk about football and entertain these people. So, we are going to start with Everton. Right, they started off very well. Very, very well. I actually put them in my top four to finish in the top four. So I don't know whether I'm going to regret it now. But the last 3 to 4 games, they have lost. So, Prime, what do you think about Everton's start? And where do you realistically think they will finish at the end of the season?
They have been amazing this season. They started off really well. They signed well as well. James, who I may not think is world class or ever has been world class, but he is a great creator, and he always seems to get the best out of himself with Carlos Ancelotti. They brought in Alan and Decore, 2 hard-working defensive midfielders, which is what you need when you have a creative midfielder like James Rodriguez. And they seem to play in a system that gets the best out of the players that they have. Digne is performing well. Calvert-Lewin or Calvert-Lewandowski is bagging goals. Richarlison, who's now injured, we're seeing just how important he is to that team. I put them 5th. I'll be honest.
Go on, mate.
Do I think they'll finish 5th? I don't know, because, again, my big whole thing is how Spurs will perform could affect where United and Everton will finish. But Everton finishing 4th, 5th, 6th, there's nothing wrong with that, to be honest. I think that's the
Sheikh Prime, you've been called by Samuel Prime.
Sheikh Prime. Yes, can we get that trending, please?
Sheikh Prime. Yeah, no, I agree, Prime. I do agree. I think Everton are they look good. They do look good. What do you think in terms of Calvert-Lewin? Obviously, he started off very, very well this season. Do you think he can consistently show that form all the way through, or do you think he's going to be cut short? It's just a couple games and he's just going to disappear for the Everton squad.
I said that to you on the box. Yeah, you were saying that he hasn't looked good, or Everton haven't looked good the past few games, and Calvert-Lewin hasn't either. But I would argue against it. I think, yes, Everton have lost the past few games, but he's still been a constant threat for them. It's only been the lack of service that has meant that he stopped scoring goals. And also, like I said, Richarlison was also a big part to why their front three works as well as it does.
Yes,
works as well as it does. Look, again, like I said, 4th, 5th, 6th, I think roughly that will be their position. Will they get into the top 4? Like I keep saying, it depends on Spurs and how they perform this season. Because with Jose, at the start of the season with Jose, I assumed it's going to be the Europa League that will be the target. But Liverpool don't have a squad anymore, basically. Pep's a fraud. Chelsea could challenge, but with Frank, inexperienced, we don't know. It's open for Spurs to do it. So that flips everything with Everton getting into the top 4 for me. So
I'm hearing that. For me, I hope Everton finish in the top 4. I think they've got enough quality. It's just that you just don't know with them because they've never ever done it before, have they? So you'd always bet against them finishing in the top 4 more than in. So for me, I think if they can keep James Rodriguez fit, if they can get Richarlison fit, if they can keep their main players fit in Decore in the midfield and that, I think that they've got as much opportunity as someone like Leicester, who have been always up there competing as well.
Can I just say this? I always say don't bet against Jose. Also, don't bet against Ancelotti because there's a reason why he's a Don, and there's a reason why I would back him over Leicester to get into top 4 based on the fact of Rodgers has this knack when it comes to that final stretch of not being able to get over that hurdle.
Yeah.
Ancelotti is a proven winner. So I would be surprised, unless it's a big thing of he has an injury-stricken squad, I'd be surprised if he doesn't get over that line.
No, I hear you.
Getting into the top 4.
I definitely hear you. Ads, what do you think about Everton? Do you think that they can compete for the top 4, or do you think they're going to be cut short? Or what do you think so far?
Obviously we know that there's talent in the squad. We know there's talent in the team. We know there's talent everywhere literally for Everton right now. And I feel like they've definitely improved from last season with their squad and how they actually present themselves as a team. Would I say that they'll get top 5? I feel like they will. They have a very good chance to. I feel like they have more of a chance than United, and I don't think that's fair. I think it's actually quite a shout to say. But yeah, their manager's a beast. He's a proper Don, man. I feel like he's one of the top ones in the league right now. And obviously, that's what Prime said, and I completely agree. I just feel like Everton I just don't see them like in this slip. I feel like after they've lost these games, I feel like they'll pick up the pace a bit more and actually start to win games. But they've got some very tough games coming up soon, so I won't hold it against them to actually. No, I will hold it against them to actually struggle. But they're a good team and they look pretty confident. So I don't see why they can't get top 5 this season.
Hashtag has come out with a comment. Can we have a round of applause for Sheik Prime?
Yes. Just know, once Roman eventually leaves Chelsea, which he eventually will, whether it be on criminal charges or whatever it may be, I will be buying Chelsea Football Club. So, yes.
We look forward to that. Just make sure you buy, some decent players. I think we've got Indiana in the background, and we just get him involved. Oh, you've done it.
What's going on?
Yes, Indiana. Welcome, bro. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Indiana,
I'm good, thank you.
Indiana, we are talking about Everton at the moment. How do you feel that how do you feel that they've started, and where do you realistically see them finishing at the end of the season?
I think they had a flying start. Considering they bought all those players, they fit together really well. I think they're going to have a consistent season, though. And what I mean by that is they'll have like a a level run, so they'll have a big dip and then they'll bounce back up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think towards the end of the season, they'll really dig in. I think that's where they'll have a dip through the middle of the season. Towards the end, they'll pick back up again. So I see them taking points off of teams. Like they'll take points off of Liverpool. I think they'll take points off Man United. Probably next time round, we could easily lose to them. They're a tough game now. They've always been a tough game, but they're a really tough game now. When they're on it, they can fly.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this comment from Christian saying if you're doing the mid-table, don't forget about Arsenal. Well, then you have to talk about Man United as well, Christian. Unfortunately,
we'll do that.
In that case.
If you do a relegation one, we'll do that.
Yeah, but Arsenal also in a relegation battle as well.
Well, they will be if Aubameyang's completely injured, because where are the goals coming from?
Aubameyang's playing and he's not scoring, so I don't think he matters.
Do you know who is scoring? Edison Cavani.
He scored one, didn't he? One goal.
Tonight. He scored tonight.
Did he score tonight? Did he? I watched it. Yeah.
Wait, Cavani has more shots on target than Martial in the Premier League.
Of course. I still think goals per minute he'll be right up there.
Yeah. No, I definitely hear that. It's all right. I got a baby in the background. Can join the show. So I want to move on to Aston Villa now, who I think have actually performed quite well. Again, I think the first 3 games they were 9 points. I think they got 9 points in the first 3 games, and then they sort of dropped off against Leeds where they lost 3-0 if I'm right. And then they had that great result against Arsenal. I think if you look at Aston Villa's midfield in Barkley and Grealish and some of the other lads that they've got in there, that they've got quite a solid midfield.
McGinn, Jem. Do not forget McGinn.
Sorry,
he's vital to how they go.
McGinn. For me, I think Jack Grealish gets into any top 6 team. I actually do truly believe that. I think he's the best out of them all in the club. Obviously, we've got to shout out Ollie Watkins as well, who is on great form as well. What do you think about Prime? What do you think about Aston Villa, and where do you see them going this season in terms of positions? And do you think they can put some? Can they challenge for the top 6? Can they challenge for the top 6?
It was interesting. Last season, Villa struggled massively. A lot of that was due to the fact that they just didn't have a goal scorer. And the midfield was missing that sort of spark. You had Grealish. There was a stat last season that he was the most fouled player in the Premier League. He was trying to do too much on his own. And yes, he's capable of doing it, but it's because he had no one else around him he could trust. He had no help. And McGinn as well was injured for a huge chunk of the season, so that just destroyed Villa's hopes. Yes, they stayed up barely. This season they strengthened properly. They bring in Ollie Watkins, who was phenomenal in the Championship. I actually didn't think he could replicate that form in the Prem, but thus far he's been amazing. Did he bag a hat-trick against Liverpool? And now a brace against Arsenal. I mean, it's Arsenal, so that doesn't really count, but he's been amazing. Ross Barkley as well, that they brought in. He's been a revelation for that side. He's been, thus far, just as important
can I just say something?
Jack Grealish. Yeah.
I'll say something about Barkley, actually. Right. Obviously, I like him, and I think he has back of talent, but I think we have to face facts and say that I don't think he's going to ever be consistent when it comes to how he comes across as a player. Because I was listening to what you said on the Terence Gem. Completely agree with that point. I feel like he has talent, but like most players these days, they just never really find like the max height, if that makes sense. And obviously, we know the talent is there, and I feel like he might go places with Villa, but it's a big might. It's a very massive might. But let's just hope for the best for him, and I feel like he can actually bring something different to Villa.
Indiana, do you think Ross Barkley? Do you think he deserves to be in contention with the England squad? Do you think he deserves a shot? Why?
No. I think he's too inconsistent on the ball. Jem, you know this. You're a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
but I will say at Villa, the thing is with Ross Barkley, he strikes me as one of those players who needs to feel like the star player. Yeah. And then you get the best out of him. And I think, you look at him at Everton, he was really performing at Everton. That's why Chelsea bought him.
Yeah.
Chelsea bought him because he felt like the star player in that midfield. I think at Villa, he's a little bit older than Grealish, and he's got John McGinn behind him. Like, John McGinn is a massive part to Grealish's game, a huge part. Like, don't get that twisted. Alex Ferguson has been telling the United board to buy John McGinn for the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Really?
Like, yeah, no, yeah. You can Google it, check the reports. Yeah, he rates John McGinn highly because his work rate, wins the balls, good ball passer. But Ross Barkley, I think if he feels like the star, that's when you get the best out of him. I think
I agree.
In a top 4 side, he disappears a lot.
Yeah, I agree. And that might be, and I don't know why, because I think he's got abundance of quality. He should really be stepping up next to these quality players. But he's never been consistent throughout his career. Even when he was at Everton, I know he picked up that really bad injury and he was out for a long time, but he never really hit the heights. And even when he come to Chelsea and he had stints throughout the season where he was important, he'd get us a goal, but he was never consistent with it. So when Frank Lampard gave him that sort of, like leadership role, go on, start, show us, he always just kind of just went missing for me. And I think that's the thing with Ross Barkley. He'll look really good in one game like Arsenal, but next week they'll probably lose 3-0 and you won't even know he's playing. Like, that's not good enough. He needs to take games by the grip of the neck. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it is what it is, and I think Aston Villa have got a good chance this season of getting in the top 6. I really do. I think it's so. I know we talk about the top 4 a lot and how open it is for that, but I think the top 6 is very open as well. You can't really pick who's going to get them Europa League spots.
I think it's the top 8, Jim.
Top 8.
I think it's bigger. I think it's bigger than that. You've got a lot of teams in there. You've got like the top 4. And, oh my god, sorry, you've got a lot of teams that can really compete and take points off each other. It's going to be a tough season. You can't call it. You can't call any position really.
Yeah, I agree. Winter Surfer's asking me Rice over Barkley. Right, Jim.
Yeah.
I don't rate Declan Rice that much. I don't think he's world class. I think he's good he's another one. He's good at where he is, but I just don't know whether if he went to a top 4 team, he would blossom like a lot of people think.
He will never be world class. He will never be world class. And this comment makes no sense either. Hashtag says Barkley over Pogba. Listen, mate, I'm gonna tell you. Listen, lads, I'm gonna have to line up facts here. The thing is, right? I don't care if he moves to Juventus in the summer or not. But the facts are they are both inconsistent. Well, Pogba wouldn't be. Well, he wasn't inconsistent before he came to United, but as of now, and as players, they are not consistent. And the skill shown and presented in the games are clearly in the favour of Pogba. So there's no actual argument. Like Pogba's better than Barkley, and he did.
He's going off current form ads. It's cool. It's off current.
Yeah.
form.
Current form.
Yeah.
He never. All right, sweet.
Well, Jeremiah, I agree with you, mate. I think Rice. Where is it? He's just come up with it now. Yeah, Rice is overrated. I think he's not overrated. I think it's harsh is the word overrated. I think he's just not someone that stands out for me as a player that Chelsea need in my eyes. Like, I don't think
you're right. He's overrated.
No, he's not. Because if he was doing what he was doing at Spain or Germany or Italy, everyone would be raving about him. But because he's English and he's doing it at West Ham, everyone's going to say that he's overrated, that he's not good enough. Why do people want Zumari or Zakaria when us Chelsea fans, the vast majority have not actually watched them play?
Yes.
But they rate them. But yeah, they don't rate Declan Rice, who does it in our own league. He bosses the likes of Man City and Liverpool, and he doesn't get the credit and respect that he deserves. Is he world class? No. Does he have the potential to be? Sure. He's a quality player. I would take him at Chelsea over the likes of Zakaria and Samari because we don't actually know what they're like. At least I know what Declan Rice is like. I know that he works, and I know that he would work in the system that we currently have. Now, if Frank goes and we bring in a different manager who plays a different system, then there's no point in buying Declan Rice, obviously.
I
just
agree.
What we currently have.
Can I just read out this comment, lads? Can I just read out this comment? Winner Surfer says they're right. Barkley is too inconsistent. I felt he was I feel like he was hard when playing for Chelsea, trying not to make mistakes. You're right, Winter Surfer. I feel like, obviously, like I said, the full potential. I just hopefully it can come out at Aston Villa because he's been running out of options or teams to actually show it. But maybe, I said maybe. I'm not confirming it's going to happen, but it's very rare. It's very rare for it to happen. But
for me, I'd be very happy if we sold him and he stayed at Villa. I don't think we need him back at Chelsea, to be honest, anymore.
He's not better than
the
Pogba, though,
comparison is Barkley or Loftus-Cheek. Like, if you had to keep one of them in your team,
I'd keep Barkley.
I'd keep Loftus-Cheek.
There you go.
Really?
I'd keep Barkley.
Yeah, I'd pick Loftus-Cheek. I'm going to go with my boy because he's come through the scouting system, and I just believe that you've got to. I mean, with Loftus-Cheek, right? I'll tell you what is Loftus-Cheek. Before he got his injury, he done a lot. He was a lot more consistent, and he done a lot more for the Chelsea team when he was called upon for me than Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley's played probably more than him overall, but when I've watched Ross Barkley play, yeah, he's done the individual goal here and there that we've needed, and he's won us games. But there's been games where he's just, I don't know. I just look at him and I just think, you've got the talent, but you just don't know how to unlock your own talent. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could be something very good.
We could say the same about Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah, but I'd rather give Ruben Loftus-Cheek the benefit of the doubt because Ross Barkley's been doing it for a very long time, all the way back to Everton.
Ruben has been doing it for a very long time.
Hey, sorry.
You know what it's like though, Jem. So, like, if you play a certain standard of football, right, and there's two ways of looking at it. You could have a player who comes up from the reserves or a younger player who comes up and they're great at their level. Or you could go out of an injury, right? I went out of an injury and I went and played for reserves for a season, ligaments. And then I came back and it took me a while to get into the pace of the game.
Yeah.
That is the standard of some players. They cannot get into the pace of the game when they play with better players. Like, these players think quicker than them. They move the ball quicker than them. They want the ball quicker than the players they normally play with. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
I think Ross Barkley's level is Aston Villa.
Yeah, I agree, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's a terrible player. I just don't think he is a Chelsea player. Like, for me, we're a lot better than. It's bad, but we're a lot better than that.
I honestly feel like Ruben Loftus-Cheek is actually quite underrated. I actually think he's quite underrated.
Guy's a baller. If you can keep him fit,
he is a baller. He is a baller. He fits into most teams. He fits into most teams.
Indiana, keep him. What did you just say? If we can keep him fit, we can't. That's the thing.
What do you mean?
You just said if we can keep him fit. That's the big thing about.
I would take Ruben back from Fulham, but I wouldn't Ross Barkley from Aston Villa.
But if Ruben isn't staying consistent, like,
you're not going to get the best out of Ross Barkley.
He's at Fulham now. I don't trust Ruben to stay fit. At least with Barkley, having him in the squad, I can trust him to do a job if we need him.
I'd be more than happy. Like, Winter Surface just said, is it Winter Surfer that's just? Oh no, sorry, hashtag is no, not hashtag. Where is it? It's up here. Winter Surface has said. He's just said, where's it coming up? I'd be more than happy to sell Ross Barkley and get 40 million off for him. I reckon we can get more from him at the moment because he's playing well. I reckon you could probably get about 50, 60 million from him at the moment. I'm not even joking.
It'll level out, Jem, because of COVID.
Yeah,
level out.
I have to bring up this message. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is not better than Bruno, mate. I'm sorry, that's just not true. It's not true.
I think it is.
Isn't that just so? You just said that we'll get more for Ross Barkley than we would for Ruben. Yet we all rate Ruben as this quality player. That's my point. If he doesn't stay consistently fit, how can you trust a player like that? We had this conversation on the Chelsea show about Pulisic as well. I don't want players. I can't trust players in my squad. I don't care about their quality, but if they're not consistently fit, I can't really trust you, can I?
No, I hear that. No, I definitely.
I'd rather have Barkley in the squad, so at least I can say I can trust him to do a job. Play him in a League Cup game or something like that. I can trust him.
Oh God, Gemma, you're on paracetamol.
Why'd I be on paracetamol, bro?
Why?
Oh, because I'm sniffing all the time. That's probably why. I've got a maxed up nose, mate. I've had this for years. Like, I just struggle to breathe, basically. But yeah, that's another story. Ads, should we put the link in the chat and then get some of these guys on if they want to come on as well? And get
yeah. Like, people, if you guys My Twitter is literally right here. Just tell me the chat or just DM me and I'll give you guys the link so you guys can give your opinions, views.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. The baby's learnt to climb out of his cot, so he's like running out and jumping on me.
Let's talk about Leeds quickly. Obviously, again, another team up and down. I think from what I've seen of them, they have a very clear. I mean, Bielsa, is it? His name is Bielsa. Bielsa seems to have a very clear philosophy of how he wants them to play, and it involves a lot of pressure up the higher ends of the pitch. And from what I've seen, they do a lot of this one-on-one man marking as well. They just don't. Whoever gets the ball never has a time on the ball, and it works. It works for them, you know. And sometimes it don't because they can see goals because they push high up the pitch. But what do we think of Leeds so far? And do we think that they've got a chance of getting Europa League this season?
Bielsa is tenacious. I've just started watching the Amazon Prime documentary. When I say just start, I've got halfway into the first episode before I fell asleep the other night.
Yeah.
Not because it's boring, because I was tired. And the one thing that all the players were saying on there is the levels that the guy goes to in terms of fitness and pressing and retaining the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think they're the one team that can sustain this energy through the season. I mean, Bielsa wants Dan James.
Yeah,
he wants Dan James.
He would probably work for him now, wouldn't he?
He would definitely work for him. Yeah.
I think the whole formation of the way they lay out and the high press would work in his favour. With Dan James at Man United, I feel like you guys invite pressure, which means he has to come deeper and he can't be as effective. So I'm not saying he's the greatest of players. I think he's got talent, Dan James. Not joking. I just don't think he's.
It's end product with him, isn't it?
Yeah, it's his end product.
Yeah,
but he can learn that, can't he? What do you think about that, Eds? Dan James.
Dan James. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I completely agree. But once I completely agree because he is a good player. He's a good player, but you're not gonna find this. You're never gonna find this. It's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. You're not gonna find any ounce of potential at all. It's just not the club for him. He's a very low. If you compare the standards that we set for players brought into the club, he's very low. Very, very low, bro.
Yeah, I hear that. And, you know, to be fair, someone like Dan James might benefit going to Leeds. Maybe Man United should pass him on to someone a bit lower just so that he can get some game time. Maybe a loan deal might do him good, him going away to one of these teams and then coming back with a bit of confidence and playing like that for you guys. But at the moment, I just don't think he's going to get that with Man United.
Because I like him, though. I like him. Like his start to the season in Indiana, he was great, but then obviously he dropped off. He just wasn't consistent enough. And then he came back and he just wasn't passing to any of the other players. He wasn't trying to be part of the final product. He was running away from De Gea's setting goal kicks as well. He didn't want the ball at all at times. And then obviously, is that United material? No, it isn't. And then you look at the likes of Greenwood coming in after a long while and actually completely dominating defenses. Like, it's brilliant. But I want to see that from Dan James because he has the pace, and you know, I feel like he has he has potential. But at United, I'm not seeing that right now. But I'm talking about as a player, he has potential. At United, he has not. If he goes to another club for a while, then comes back stronger man, he could start playing more. I'm trying to say because. We don't like to just throw players out the door saying, yeah, you're not coming back. You know what I'm trying to say? But, you know, we don't know how Oli will do it because it doesn't look like Pereira's going to come back from loan. It doesn't look like most of the players that we have out on loan are going to come back. So I want to see Dan James go out on loan, come back a stronger guy, and then start playing for United a bit more. So I like him a lot. I think he has the potential to be a good player.
I think the big problem with Dan James is that there isn't anybody... Any other wingers, senior wingers, if you like, experienced wingers in front of him, who have even played that system, let alone any wingers at all. It's difficult when you're young. You come into a side and there's nobody really in front of you who does what you do. Like Greenwood is very different because Greenwood is just a natural talent. He's 1 in a million in his age group. Of English kids, like there are a few Dan Jameses out there that can do that type of thing. So, but Greenwood's different also because he's now going to be learning from players like Cavani.
Yeah,
like, you know, it's Solskjaer himself was a striker. You know, he coaches. That's what he does. But there is nobody at the club who can elevate Dan James.
No,
He's pretty much learning on his own. So going out on loan would help him a lot.
Yeah,
I think Dan James would have learned a lot from Ashley Young, being the sort of winger that can.
I don't know whether there's enough time there, Prime. I don't know whether there's enough time there. Like when you've got young players, really, you want somebody in front of them for a good 3 seasons, minimum 2, to pick up from.
Yeah, I agree.
Otherwise, they're not going to get anything, and these flaws in their game just become a natural habit.
Yeah,
before long, it has to be eased out of them.
I definitely agree on that.
But with Bielsa, anyway,
I was just
the
going to say,
reason why I think, the reason why I don't think, right, in the Championship for the past 2 seasons and so, Bielsa probably should have got Leeds not relegated, promoted. But a lot of what has happened with them is at the final stages, because of how they play, they end up burning out, getting gassed out, and you don't make that push up. But they did last season. They sustain their momentum, sustain their pace. They strengthened adequately. They brought in Rodrigo, who is a good striker, and that has only pushed Bamford now because he's performing like crazy. And Bielsa's a smart manager as well. So this whole thing of the gas out, I don't really see that happening, particularly if they're secured in mid-table, then fine. I think they'll just stop playing a little bit because they're fine, they're safe. But if there's a chance for them to get Europa League, or who knows, top 4, how weird everyone else is, they're going to keep on pushing and keep on fighting because there's something to play for. Look at Sheffield United last season with Man City, because we all assumed they were getting a ban. They could have finished 5th and got into the Champions League.
Yes,
they were still fighting and pushing forward, and yet they didn't finish 5th. But there was that opportunity.
Bielsa asked for Bamford, yeah? You know that he's a top coach, and he asked for Bamford personally. Like, don't underrate Bamford at all. Like,
I was just about to talk about Bamford actually, but I think we've got someone in the background.
We got Mr. Winter Soldier. What are you saying, bro? You good?
All right, guys, how you doing?
All right, bro. How you doing?
Where's the shield? Where's the shield?
It's in repair, you know.
Winter Surfer.
Taking it to quick fit again. You know what'll happen.
Winter Surfer, I'll ask you this question. We're talking about Leeds at the moment and how they're performing this season. Yeah. What do you think about Patrick Bamford? Bearing in mind he came from us, didn't he? A long time ago. Did we ever expect him to be where he is now, playing for Leeds and
I wasn't impressed with him in the Championship last season. I don't think he played that well. But I think him and Ollie Watkins are sort of the same, because I don't think they've been scouted by Premier League bosses.
Yeah.
So they don't know what to expect them. It's sort of like a Jamie Vardy thing, but Jamie Vardy then obviously went on to improve. So they're either going to have a blistering first season and then fall away, or they're actually going to continue. But I don't think anyone's scouted them recently.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I think Patrick Bamford is a good striker. I don't think he's on the levels of the Danny Ingses and the Jamie Vardys or any like that. I mean, he could surprise me. Don't get me wrong. He could surprise us all. But what do you think, Indiana? Do you think? I mean, you used to be a coach, so you could see good talent. But what do you think of Patrick Bamford from what you're seeing? Do you think he's got the potential to be one of the best?
I think it's hard to call right now, because I've got this theory, right? Because I've played as a 10 and a 9 all my footballing life. So think about training, and think about technique, and working on things about your game. If you're a defender, most of that is teamwork. If you're a striker and scoring goals, you can do a lot of that now with bounce boards and nets, off the wall, anything, right? Cone work. You can do a lot of stuff for movement.
Yeah.
We've just had 3 months of lockdown. These professional footballers have all got goals in their back garden. This is why I think we're seeing lots of goals in the football leagues, because defenders have had a lot of time off, and players have come in, they're changing systems, and these strikers have had 3 months of training. Like, they can go out in their garden for fun and work on things about their game in terms of finishing. Yeah, they needed to.
Because only everyone only plays one up front now anyway, so they don't need to work as a team or a partnership.
Yeah, we hear that.
They practice on their finishing. You're right. The defense needs to work as a team. They need to work with the goalkeeper as well. But then someone's got to lead that team, so they've got to be more of a partnership. So that's why defending's probably so rubbish this season.
I agree. Well, this is what I was just about to say. If you read Pasang Di Tamang's comment, no matter how good attacking Leeds play, if they don't sort out their defence, you're going to get relegated. Norwich is the recent example. Do we agree with that? I don't think they're in the same levels as Norwich.
Can I say something? Can I just say something? They're better than Norwich, but the defence situation, it does need improving. The only thing I'd say is, obviously, we know that obviously before this season, before they actually came in, the standards were very high. Like, they thought, oh yeah, they're gonna do really well. They're gonna get like a comfortable, like mid-table kind of positioning like throughout the season. But as of now, obviously because of how high the standards were set, they haven't been the greatest. But no way would I ever compare Leeds to Norwich, man. Like, Norwich were just completely inconsistent. Leeds show like they don't. The thing with Norwich is like that spark when they beat Man City. That was like one tiny spark. That's like a one-off. It wasn't a lucky game. It wasn't a lucky game because they completely went in on them after a few minutes of after the few final minutes of the game. But no way would I ever compare Leeds to Norwich, man. Like, Leeds are just way above Norwich in my opinion. I just like if you even compare them, it's just don't get it, man.
Yeah,
like Leeds are way better.
Leeds will comfortably stay up, but they can't defend properly. So.
Yeah, no, and I mean, you've only got to look at someone. Pride, smile. Talking about we were talking about Leeds. Going on to, I was going to say Sheffield United, but look how bad they've been, man. Like, if you look at their was last season, like, what's happened with them? Why have they gone so the opposite? I mean, are they suffering from injuries? Are they been found out? Are they? I mean, do we think they're going to get relegated? That would be my question to you guys.
I'd say, you know what, Jim? I'd say they get relegated because, right, okay, I'm not going to confirm who's going to get relegated, but they look like one of the teams, like one of the favourites for relegation this season. And obviously, I wouldn't say it's the injuries of players. I just feel like the confidence was very much knocked at the last stages of last season, and I feel like we can all agree with that because they were on fire at the start. They were on fire at the start, midway through as well. Then I feel like it was after the break that they just fell off. They just completely fell off, like losing touch as well with like the large goal line as well, which is not good. And I feel like they have a solid squad. It's just a shame that they're not going to be presented as one of the candidates for top 10 or any of them teams like that. But it's not because they lost Dean Henderson. It's not because of that, because Dean Henderson isn't Jesus. He's not someone who stands in between the sticks. Oh no, Surfer, he's not a big reason. He's not a big reason.
I'm
trying to say, like,
there's a big drop off between Henderson and Shamsdale. So
but bro, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not just the goalie. Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, but the thing is, it's not just.
They haven't bought a striker.
Yeah, but bro,
a deadly striker.
I'm gonna say this now. Everyone's saying it's just because they lost Dean Henderson.
It's not because of that.
You're not gonna win. You're not like your game isn't decided. Like, you're winning. Like, when you win, obviously, when a goal goes in, obviously that's up to the goalkeeper to kind of pick up the pieces when it comes to those situations. But we cannot just say because a great young keeper has left their squad that's the reason why they're not playing well. They have a poor attack. Their attack hasn't been great, and their defense has been even worse. Actually, you know what? No, let me rephrase that. Their attack has been worse than the defense, bro. And that's honest, G. I'm a realist, man. I have to say how it is. And their attack has been atrocious this season so far. It has been atrocious.
Their overlapping centre backs have been caught out.
Yeah, I think they've been found out, to be honest, and I think people will know how to play against them. If you look at what we did to them recently, we kind of even though they did score the first goal, I never felt uncomfortable in that winter surfer. I watched it and I was like, you know what, we're going to do them still. Like,
you're watching that game.
It wasn't a repeat of that disgraceful 3-0 battering that they gave us up there. That's for sure. You're right. I think people actually have found them out. They've actually scouted Sheffield United because they've had time to.
Yeah.
over the 3 months. You know,
When I say
I
found
agree.
out, when you guys say, obviously some people, I know what you guys are talking about, but some people say they've been found out as in like they were just lucky last season. They were not lucky last season. They generally played well last season. You know what I'm trying to say, bro? Like honestly, I feel like obviously I'm sad to say this, but I feel like they will get relegated this season. But if they do, I can't see them not trying to get back up straight away. You know what I'm trying to say? That's because they're a team. They obviously at the club they set high standards, but obviously look at the viewing of the fans of the Premier League. They don't really see Sheffield as favourites of much, if that makes sense. I don't really see them as favourites of top 5 or top 3 or anything of that. But you know, they're a mid-table team, like a regular mid-table team. You'll usually see them mid-table like they were last season. But you know, they let's just hope they can pull it in and hopefully show.
I hear that.
Actually
Bro.
are a
I
good
hear
club.
that. Look, Samad, I think Samad's got a good point here. He's saying most people hyping Everton 14 goals conceded. This is where they need to fix to compete for the Europe this season. I think he's got a point. I think going back to Everton quickly, I think is it going to be a case of going forward they're very good because they've got all these quality players, but defending, I mean, if you look at their defence, is it strong enough to compete?
I mean, we say that, but look at how many goals Liverpool have conceded. Arsenal have the best defence in the Premier League, apparently. They've conceded goals. Man City have conceded goals.
We've conceded goals as well.
Leicester have conceded goals. Yeah. United have conceded goals. Chelsea seem to have fixed up in recent games, but we have a tough run of games after the international break, so let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
Everyone is conceding goals, and that's not me saying that it doesn't matter, but it just, all it takes is for teams to start clicking.
Who are these tough games?
And Everton have got a top manager.
Oh,
he will not allow them to keep on conceding goals like that. Like, also, trust me, don't be knocking Italians. That this guy would do it.
I will never knock Ancelotti. For me, Ancelotti is one of the greatest.
Also, a big thing that people seem to be forgetting is the fact that once we get into like March, April, May, that run in that last 3 months, 4 months, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, United, they should be roughly Champions League quarterfinals, Europa League quarterfinals, semi-final. That's going to affect the running. But it will. It's going to affect the running, which will make it be an advantage for the likes of Everton and Wolves and Leicester. Well, Leicester are in Europa League as well, but
I think Everton, in my opinion, I feel like Everton, Aston Villa, and Wolves are in their own kind of pack, if that makes sense. Like they have their own shelf, if it makes sense. Like recent years, they've kind of come up as teams. I feel like Brighton kind of edged that into that shelf as well. Recently, they have been pretty good. Like in recent seasons,
not in there, bro.
They just can't score. Brighton can't score enough goals.
Do you know what? Out of everyone out of the top 6, I'm looking at the teams. Barring the top 6, I'm looking at the teams that I feel like that can challenge. And maybe knock someone like the Arsenal out of the top 6 and throw their name in it. At the moment, what Wolves have been, for me, Wolves at the moment from top to bottom look very consistent. If you look at the way they defend, they don't concede a lot of goals. They're very organised outfit. They've got very good midfielders. It's very balanced there. And then on top of that, they've got a striker who I think is very, very talented. And they've got some very quick wingers in that Traore, Prudence and Neto. Neto. And if you look at their balance from top to bottom, I genuinely think that they've got to be up there. I think they're awesome. What do you guys think about Wolves? Do you think they're a good outfit?
Again, Nuno is a top manager. There's more and more top managers coming into Premier League clubs, probably because of the money, than they would take like a Atletico Madrid. Do you know what I mean? There's a more of an attractive job like right now. I think these clubs are starting to back long-term plans with managers. And the investment's been incredible. You look, Nuno's a top manager. They've got, like you say, a very well balanced side. He knows what he's doing. He's got. This is the thing with Arsenal. They're gonna struggle because although they've got top players in certain positions, they've got no balance. And even when those top players are out, the drop off is massive. It's huge. They're relying on individuals.
I hear that.
relying on individuals to have great performances week on week. It's not possible to sustain a season like that. It's not possible.
Wolves haven't got Europe this season, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
They basically play for over a year, so they're getting more rest. So
this is the other thing as well, that I do think the teams that stay in the cup competitions will be the ones that suffer the most. If you go through the League Cup, the FA Cup, Europe, and you go a long way in them, that could really cost you in the Prem.
Yeah,
because these fixtures are so tight.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you're not right. Yeah, I
play
agree
all the
again.
kids in the FA Cup games. I wouldn't play any of the
Children,
first.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the thing. That's obviously talking about young players like from the under teams as well. I feel like when they play in the FA Cup, they spark more than they do when they play in the Europa League. For me, I feel like that's a natural pattern for United, because obviously, do you remember that one time in Indiana we played all the youth, and then we played Luke Shaw, Greenwood, Lingard. I think Lingard, Luke Shaw were there as well in the team.
Yeah.
And obviously we lost 2-1 to Astana, and Bernard was a I think he's a great youngster. I think he'll go places. But obviously, as obviously when you come from Man United, and obviously when you're one of the younger players, you're going to get a lot more hate than the rest of the players. And I feel like Bernard was getting that the high dosage of hate, like online as well as from the managers as well. Because the thing is, Bernard is a great player, and I feel like he'll go places. But playing the young team as like a full fit 11, I don't think Man United should ever attempt that ever again.
That's mad.
I don't think we should attempt that again. I don't think we should, because how poor we
mad
were.
with fans, because all fans moan about that they want their youth to come through, and then they're the ones they rip them very
exactly, bro.
They rip them apart.
Yeah, but they don't if they win.
We want them all to come through, but you're crap. You have to be 100% straight away.
That never happens if you win, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a very, very famous saying by Adam Hansen in football.
Yeah, exactly. I know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want anything with youngsters, which is true.
Yeah, don't anything with kids. Yeah.
Children.
I think what we'll do is we'll quickly let's go through this. We've done it earlier on the box to box. Actually, we was picking players that we think are the best in their positions outside of the top six. So starting from goalie to defence to midfield to striker. So who would be your goalkeeper? Prime, you told us already, didn't you? But who was your goalkeeper? Schmeichel.
Schmeichel, yeah.
Schmeichel. Indiana. Schmeichel as well, yeah. You're agreeing on that one. Winter Surfer.
Martinez, Aston Villa.
Fair enough. And that space,
he's going to get so many points this season.
Is it outside the club? Is it outside your own club?
Yeah, outside the top six. Yeah.
Are we talking traditional top six, right? We're not talking
Martinez.
Yeah, no,
Martinez.
we're talking about all the teams out of the top six. It don't have to be on form. It can just be in general. Like, who do you think is the best of the best in their positions, basically?
Transfer of the season, that is.
Martinez, man.
You go for Martinez, yeah. I'm gonna go with Nick. I'm gonna go with Nick Pope. I like Nick Pope. I think he's got a lot going for him. I think he's a good goalie, and I'm gonna keep saying that. I know people.
I forgot about Martinez.
Yeah.
Look at his face.
Transfer of the season.
Martinez, man. The guy's got class.
Oh god.
Right. All right, let's do. I was gonna say, should we do left back, centre back? And there's no point, is there, when we're sitting there for ages? But all right, come on, let's do left back. Go on.
No, actually, hold on 1 second. Burn your 19th. Continue.
What does that mean? I'm talking about in general, from what I've seen. I'm not talking about form.
I know who my striker's going to be. I know who my striker's going to be.
Henderson's going to take that England spot.
He had the second most clean sheets, bruv.
All right, cool. As
Last
in,
season.
he plays in a defensive team. I would expect him to.
Before you continue, we have
man like Jerry. No.
Yes, Jeremy. Yes.
Yes, bro. Welcome to the show.
Thank
How are you, man?
Look at that.
I'm good.
As well.
I'm
It's been
good.
brought up properly.
Hey, listen. If I knew you were going to put that kit on, I would have said.
1 second. I need to put my shirt on. I need to put my shirt on now. 1 second.
Jeremy, blink twice if you're in trouble. Yeah, we'll get that.
I'm never in trouble. I'm never in trouble. Thank you for having me on. It's Jeremy, and it's Jeremy. Yeah. But it's just got an eye at the end, innit? But thank you for having me on, guys.
No worries, bro. Let's
Jeremy.
Jeremy, let's ask you a quick question. We're talking about outside the top six because we do talk a lot about it at the moment. So we're trying to revert away from it. So
I love that because United are outside the top six. I love it.
Yeah. So basically, we're going through. We're going through the positions of who we think's the best goalkeeper. We're going through the position of who we think is the best goalie, best defender, best midfielder outside the top six in the Premier League. So who would you take as a goalkeeper?
Outside of the top six?
Outside of the top six, yeah.
Do you know what, yeah? I would take Martinez.
Yeah, good shout.
Yes!
Emiliano Martinez. I will take him. I will take him 100%. 100.
You know who should take him?
Arsenal. They're still not letting him go.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Well, they were smart to put a buyback option, but I don't think they.
I just don't know why they got
not enough to do it.
I just don't know why they got rid of Leno when they had him. I thought he was in better form than Leno because Leno was injured after last season, so it didn't make no sense to me.
Leno is absolutely rubbish in terms of like how they play. Yeah, listen to this. Yeah, so you want someone to kick the ball out from the back and play their thing, and all of a sudden Leno is there, but Leno has passed the ball out to more of the opposition team than he has to his own teammates. Like,
that's true.
How many times has Leno passed the ball out to the opposition, and then they flop?
Jeremy, you're absolutely right. I find it funny that Arsenal fans. Remember they started praising all this. Remember after Fulham, they started bringing out compilations. Look at how we play out of the back.
Yeah.
Goal Aubameyang scored against Fulham. He scored the same goal against Liverpool. Patterns of play. Lampard doesn't have any. Ollie's dead. But all of those two goals particularly came from Martinez.
Exactly.
Leno doesn't do any of that.
None of it.
And it always comes back to Arsenal. Club we love.
You know what cracked me up here? There was one time, the ball got passed out to Martinez. He touched it back onto his left foot and he dinked the ball over the top to I think it might have been Grealish or the Target, the left back. And then they just started an attack straight from that. But then when you're looking at what Leno does here, when Arteta says he wants to play out from the back and do X, Y, and Z, I can't see him trying to play out from the back with the goalkeeper he has at the moment.
Yeah.
Because the goalkeeper is not comfortable with the ball at his feet. Like,
no.
Yeah.
It's been so long since Arsenal have been challenging. By the time my kids are in school, they're going to be teaching it in history. It's been that long. Do you know what I mean?
Bro,
it's terrible.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, Jem.
No, go on, bro. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say it's just funny because maybe 10. Let's go 15 years ago. I'll take it. 15 years ago, Arsenal United. That's what it was, isn't it? You get me?
Yeah.
And now it's Arsenal United like fighting here, not there. We're here. Yeah. It's mad. It's so mad. But yeah, I'm a real United fan, and I would admit, like, last year, this was the top that man had on, innit? Last year, this thing right here, the Europa League. Now, this year, somehow we've got Champions League. Thank you, Ollie, but I don't know.
Listen, bro, we're going to be talking a lot of Man United on this show, and I'd love to get you on more to hear you, because I don't know your thoughts on Man United, so let's definitely get that going. In terms of centre-backs, who are we going for? For me, I said originally Connor Cody, because I think at Wolves he's been one of the strongest. I know Bowley next to him has been very good as well, but my choice would be Cody. So who would you choose, Jeremy, on that one?
I would agree with you.
Yeah,
Connor Cody. I know, like, obviously, he started off in Liverpool, all that rubbish, and I'm a United fan, and this is that. But when I look outside of the top six, it's somebody that can command and communicate. When you're playing in defense, one of the main things is communicate. Communicate with your centre half. Let them know, move, go deep, drop back, do this. I'm coming. I've got the man. You know, the ball's coming. You can see that, okay, I can get a better flight and read the ball. So I'm coming. I've got the man. So then the other guy drops back. All of that's important. And Connor Cody communicates down to his team. So he will be the first guy that I'll put outside the top six. And
I think he's also got them leadership skills that I don't think many defenders have in the Premier League at the moment. So I think he's definitely a good shout. Indiana, who do you think, bro?
I like Connor Cody. I agree with everything you said. I like Soyuncu. I rate that guy. I really like him. I think Johnny Evans is still a top class player as well. I think he's a leader.
Yeah, he is.
It'd be, to be honest, I don't really see anybody near that level of those three.
Yeah,
like those for me, those three are three players that I take Johnny Evans back at Man United.
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know what?
lie.
Yeah. And let me tell you one thing. Yeah, do you see when LVG became United manager? Was that back then? But when he came into United, the one player that he didn't want to sell was Johnny Evans, and the one player that really didn't want to let go was Johnny Evans. But the Glazers let Johnny Evans go. Johnny Evans, I'm not trying to say like he was all of that, but do you know what? He could take things in. It was Johnny Evans like a sponge. Like you tell him what you want him to do, and he will do his utmost best, and he will do it, and he will stick to it. That's one thing that United centre backs don't have. They don't stick to what. Like it's like when something goes wrong, all of a sudden, the manager told me this, and now it's gone wrong. I don't believe in it anymore. Johnny Evans will be there, sticking to it. You can tell Johnny Evans it's raining outside. You're wet. No, I'm not wet. The manager told me I'm not wet, so I'm not wet. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Jeremy, the thing is, you know, there's one thing I'll never forgive Louis van Gaal for is actually getting rid of Welbeck.
Oh yeah,
because even these days he could have been a great squad player. Could have been a great squad player. But guess what? I don't even think if he actually left United, he would have picked up that mass injury that made him miss over 100 games. I don't think he would have got that at United because honestly, bro, I don't think he would have got that injury because the thing is, I think he might have got an injury. He will get injuries because he's injury prone, but I don't think he'll get an injury to that max extent, if that makes sense, bro. If that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah,
I think there's been a massive problem at Arsenal, and I've been saying this for a long time, with the players that have been getting injured there. You look at the Ramseys, the Wilshires, the Welbecks, and loads more, Walcotts. There's something wrong with their training ground, the way they train, their recovery program. There's something wrong. You cannot have all of these players getting injured. Man.
They bought an injured player in 2014.
Yeah, but Indiana.
They bought an injured player last summer.
Yeah,
Pepe.
Yeah, but Indiana.
Indiana.
Those players
not been able to play football.
Indiana. For those players. So Wilshere, for them to actually step up after that kinds of injuries and actually try to get back into the team, just shows what type of players they are. They're committed, and whatever club they're at, they'll do well. And I hope, I swear, listen, I literally follow Welbeck everywhere he goes. If he goes to some Turkish team, I watch him. But at Brighton, he showed on his debut that he has potential. Yes, he missed all them chances, though. But he missed those chances. But you know what I'm trying to say? Because he is a solid player. He's, I think he's 29. He'll be 30 in January.
Talking about a 29-year-old like he's still potential.
But bro, he's as a potential at that club.
I think Ads fancies him.
You fancy Kepa. Don't make me play the clip.
I'm gonna do a clip.
What was the question that Jem asked her? What was it? I think we've gone a bit off topic of what Jem asked.
Yeah, no, I want to stick to that.
It was a centre back, innit?
Yeah.
No, I like that question. Was it centre back, and then was it centre back? Was one?
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, Connor Cody, and then Indiana was saying something, and then I just jumped in like an idiot.
It's all right. Don't worry. It's fine. Indiana. So you said, go on. Who is it again, mate? I forgot.
Yeah,
Soyuncu, Cody, and Johnny Evans. All right, then the three I'd pick.
Yeah, Soyuncu. Yeah.
Winter Surfer. Go on, mate. Who are you going for?
Lewis Dunk.
Okay, that's a fair shout.
I tell you why. I was pretty pleased when we were linked to him.
Yeah.
So I was pretty pleased for that because he reminds me.
Sorry, Winter Surfer. Sorry, what team did you support again? Sorry, mate.
Chelsea.
Okay. Yeah. So you were happy with? Okay.
No,
all right. Sorry. Go on. Carry on. Yeah. Sorry. Apologies. I didn't mean to cut you off. Carry on. Sorry. Apologies.
Because people say, "Oh, he's from Brighton." He's got the stigma already attached. So he might not be good enough. But I feel like Chelsea need an alpha centre back. Thiago Silva's an alpha centre back.
Yeah.
But we need a leader. We needed a leader, and we don't have that at the back. That's why Zuma's so good at the moment. He's got Thiago.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Zuma's not an alpha centre back. Not yet. He might be, but he's not.
Well,
Lewis Dunk for me.
The one thing I said about Lewis Dunk, though, when I've seen him play for England in the England team, he's never really looked like an alpha centre back because it doesn't seem like he communicates a lot. Now, correct me wrong. Who does Lewis Dunk play for? He plays for Brighton, right?
Brighton,
He's captain of Brighton.
Now, when you look, he's captain of Brighton, but look at Brighton's team, yeah.
Yeah.
You look at Lewis Dunk and Ben White.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's my
Brighton, I swear to you, Brighton would much rather sell Lewis Dunk than sell Ben White. Because
you're right.
when you watch the team now, like obviously Lewis Dunk was injured for the first I think 4 games. He's been injured for a bit. But if you watch the team, when Lewis Dunk comes back in, I don't know if he's been back in it because I haven't watched them that much. But when he comes back in, you will see that the communicator in there is Ben White. The communicator in the Leeds defense last year when they were coming up was Ben White. And that is literally because Lewis Dunk is an all-action defender. It's not a bad thing because when you have a partnership, you need all action and you need a calm one. That's what you need. Yeah. So it's not bad, but Lewis Dunk is not that much of a communicator as you think. That's why I'm very surprised.
I think Jeremy, you're right. Definitely 100%. I think if anything, it's more like what Chelsea have got at the moment in Thiago Silva and Zuma, as in Lewis Dunk doing the Zuma and then Ben White being the Thiago Silva. Obviously, it's not on the same level. So
When you talk about being that leader and having that leader, that's true. That's something I was saying last season about Chelsea, that we need a leader in our defence. But there's also levels to this leadership game. Yeah. Harry Maguire, he is a leader. He's a commanding centre-back, but he's still not an alpha centre-back to that level.
Yeah, I agree.
Harry
Maguire, not Harry Maguire. Lewis Dunk, in my opinion, is just a poor man's Harry Maguire. I think if you're talking about real alphas, you're talking about real leaders. Someone like Johnny Evans is the guy who I wanted last season at Chelsea because he's commanding.
Maguire's not a leader at all.
But personally, for me, as a Manchester United fan, in terms of leadership qualities, I wouldn't put Harry Maguire in the same category.
No.
Johnny Evans.
That's my point.
Okay.
Listen, I wasn't putting him in that category. That's my point. What I said about Harry Maguire. Johnny Evans is an actual leader. He's commanding. He's smart. He's intelligent on the ball and off it. There's a reason why Harry Maguire looked good with Johnny Evans at Leicester. 2 seasons ago. Yeah. The reason why Soyuncu, who everyone was raving about last season, looked good at Leicester because of Johnny Evans guiding him. Yeah. The reason why Ben Chilwell looked so good because he had someone guiding him and teaching him. Johnny Evans is someone who would massively improve, I would say, just about every defense in the top 6.
Yes.
Johnny Evans.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't get it twisted. The guy is an animal, a warrior on the pitch, man. He'll do whatever job you ask him to do. He's a natural leader. Like the challenges he puts in, his positioning is outstanding. He's a great header of the ball. Stupid. This is why this board needs to go because they have got no football knowledge.
Bro, that's the one guy they should have.
But lads, they're bankers. That's the thing. They don't know what they're doing. They're bankers. But lads, as we're off topic already, I just want to say thank you everyone who's still here. We have 15 viewers right now.
Thank you so much.
Subscribe. And yeah, Prime, who are you picking as your 2 centre backs?
No, we'll stick to what we do is we'll just do
we're not doing
don't if we do the whole just do the whole because otherwise we're going to be here forever.
But mine was
Johnny Evans, wasn't it?
Johnny Evans. Well, let's maybe make it a bit different now. Just so I'm not saying the same thing as everyone else and as on the last show. Ricardo Pereira
as the right back.
Okay.
In my opinion, he is.
I'm not going to disagree. I like that one. Yeah,
he's the best right back in the league, in my opinion.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's got that.
Who else is better than him? I'm not a Leicester fan, but I lived in Leicester for a couple of years when I was doing uni. So who else is better than Pereira?
Ain't Reece James in good form right now?
No, he is, and I rate Reece James. No, I rate Reece James.
Is he not more of a balance?
Reece James. No, but listen, Reece James will prove it. Jam. Reece James will prove it. Don't get me wrong, he will prove it. But I'm talking about as of right now.
The past 2 seasons. Right now.
Reece James end of the season. Right, I will say he's better than Pereira, but I just need that time for him to prove it. Yeah. So that's what I'm.
And I hear that. Look, let's jump onto the midfield, otherwise we're going to be scattering.
Partey, I'll take Partey.
So
Right,
hold on.
lads.
What formation are you
No.
going for, though? What formation?
I
What
am-
formation are we doing?
It doesn't matter. It's just the way we're looking at it is who we think generally.
Just take a
Anyone across the
midfielder,
midfield, yeah. Who's your pick of a midfielder
Can I just say
that you
something, though?
say is the best? Go on, mate.
Can I just say something though? I actually never got to say my two centre backs. I'm gonna say Ogbonna and Evans.
Okay.
Guerrero and Evans.
Why? Do you say Ogbonna?
Yes,
What?
Ogbonna, West Ham. But I think I take him honestly. I think he's better than Lindelof, and I think he's better than
Yeah,
Really?
but adds.
I
There's
think he's better than
there's better defenders than Ogbonna in the league that are outside the top six. Do you know what I
I
mean?
wanted to switch things up a bit. Just switch things
No,
up.
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's
Okay,
fair
cool.
enough.
I hear you.
Right, midfield, boys. Midfield. Right, across the from one into the other, whoever you want to pick, just give me a midfielder that you think is
Granit
the
Xhaka.
best.
Are we putting Jack Grealish as a midfielder?
Yeah, I'm going to
Did
say
man
Jack
just say
Grealish.
Granit Xhaka, fam?
Yeah, we're saying after the top
Prime,
six.
you're bantering it. You're bantering it. Prime is doing banter.
I'm going to say.
I mean, I rate Granit Xhaka to be fair.
I'm going to
but
say.
yeah,
Wait, listen. I'm going to say Jack Grealish. I think he has got the potential. I think he's got the most potential. I think he could walk into any top 6 team
That was
right
an
now.
easy one, though, man. Saying Jack Grealish.
Yeah, but all right.
No,
fair enough.
I respect that.
but-
No. I'm just bantering you. I respect it, but it was an easy one, though.
Yeah, Jack Grealish. I mean, to be honest, other than Jack Grealish, I think very hardly about it. I'd probably look at someone in
Don't say Barkley. You got to say McGinn, bro.
and
No,
Indeed,
you got to say
yes.
McGinn. I'm sorry, but if you're
I have to agree with Jem. It has to be Ndidi, man. Ndidi and Grealish,
Ndidi's a
bro.
good shout.
don't
I'd
get me
say
wrong, but
Ndidi.
guys,
He's injury prone, though.
okay, and Ndidi's injury prone. But if you look at John McGinn, and you look at his
John
out.
McGinn's injury prone.
Yeah, but only this
He's
season,
not, though.
though.
He only had one bad
He is.
injury. He only had one bad injury
Yeah, but
last year.
Jeremy,
And
only
since
this
then, he's been
season.
consistent.
Yeah, only this season.
Did you not see him
before.
bang for Scotland last night, bruv?
Yeah,
but
don't get me wrong. You're talking on
Jeremy,
form.
Jeremy, Ndidi's world class.
Ndidi is world class.
He is
And
world class.
it doesn't matter.
Guys, hold on. I might have to come with some Terry Fluid shit right now. Like world class, yeah. World class is like basically
World class being
you can have world class.
We're talking about top 5 DMs in your
excellent.
Jeremy. Top 5 DMs in your position.
You put Ndidi in the top 5 DMs in the world.
Wheel it up. 1 second, lads. I want to back price point.
In the world.
Hey, yo, 1 second.
Listen, ads, it's cool. I've got this. It's cool. Top 5 DMs in the world: Ndidi, Fabinho, Casemiro, Kante. If you're going to count him as a DM, who else gets in there?
Kante is the top.
Partey, cool, fine. 5 DMs.
Right, 1 second, lads. I want to jump in here.
Is there any other DM you want to put in? Is there another? No, ads. It's cool. Ads. No, wait. It's cool. Is there any other DM? Take out Ndidi. Fine. Who else do you put in then?
But I just want to say this now. The reason why, Jeremy, I want to say this now. Yeah. The reason why Ndidi is the reason why
no, ads. It's cool. Let him argue it. Who do you put in instead?
I just want to say something.
Cool. It's not.
All right,
cool.
boys. We'll go on. Ads, go.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Jeremy, I'll tell you this now, right? The facts are the reason why Ndidi isn't like seen as world class to many people is because of like the recent appliance and rise.
Let me just stop this here right now, yeah. Guys, hold on. I'm just gonna stop it. I'm playing devil's advocate. Guys, I am playing devil's advocate.
Jeremy, that's my job.
I'll be lying. I will be lying if I said I didn't rate Ndidi. But I just had to do that. I just had to do it because
that's fair enough.
Jeremy,
yeah.
Stop. That's I don't go into your workplace and do what you do.
How dare you?
Hey,
Prime. Yeah, no.
Can we listen? Can we all stay on track here, right?
Yeah.
So I've said Grealish.
Hold on. Wait. Can I ask you one question though? Sorry, Prime. Name your 5 again in DMs.
In no order, by the way.
No order. Just your 5 top DMs in the world.
Kante, if you're counting him as a DM.
Casemiro,
Fabinho, and Thomas Partey, if he's a DM as well. Then yeah.
So do you not take out Ndidi and put Kimmich in there? Joshua Kimmich.
Kimmich is
he's
weird because
versatile though. He can play right back, can
he
he?
can
But
play
his main
CM, he
position
plays
is
CM, he
defensive
plays right
midfield.
back.
As
No,
you
but
saw
but
in the
my
FIFA,
thing,
in the
no,
FIFA Team of the Year,
yeah.
Joshua Kimmich was the defensive midfielder.
No,
Come
I
on,
know,
pick
but
up the
my thing is,
trophy.
my thing with Kimmich is
He
this:
gave the list.
he
He
plays
gave
in
the list.
so many different,
But
positions.
Joshua,
I don't know where to
remember,
put him
it's
in.
not
Because
even
for me,
Joshua, you know.
Speed it
no,
up,
no,
speed it
I
up,
know,
speed it up,
Joshua.
speed it
It
up.
doesn't
I
call him
know, but no,
Joshua.
because my thing is
All
this:
right, can we come back on
Kimmich,
track with the?
he also played
let's
right back, and I
yeah.
would put him as one of the best
I
right
don't want
backs
to
in
talk
the world.
about
So
Kimmich
it's hard.
because he's
That's
not.
why.
Hey, listen, he's not in our league.
Yeah,
Premier
that's
League,
true. That's true.
and
My bad.
yeah,
My bad. Sorry.
let's
Yeah,
talk
let's go
about
back on
outside the
topic.
top,
Sorry,
outside
guys.
the top six. Winter Surfer, who is your player, mate?
It's either that is it Souček from West Ham or Ruben Neves from Wolves.
Fair shout.
I'm not going to say anything more.
Go on, Jeremy.
I'm
Who
going.
you
Do
go?
you know what? Outside the top six, yeah, I'm going for my guy. You know, outside the top six. Go to Prime first, and I'm going to think about it again.
No, say your guy.
No, because I had to think about that one again. So
Prime.
I'll go central midfield. Yeah, is it central midfield we're thinking about? Yeah.
Anyone across the front, across the centre midfields to the wingers as well. He doesn't have to just be in centre midfield.
Ooh.
Jamutini.
Alan St. Gucci Mane. Alan. I'm going for Alan. If we're going outside top six, anybody, I'm going for Alan. I'm
Why
using
though? He's so
KG's bar.
inconsistent.
Alan, he's not. Bro, he's unpredictable.
He's inconsistent.
He's unpredictable. No, listen, yeah. You see, the thing about him is, yeah, because he's so unpredictable, right? You get a coach. You get a coach that will just be like, "Yo, do this, do this, run this, run that," and he'll be perfect. You remember? Listen, one thing that he reminds you know, he reminds me of, like really, really, like obviously not to that certain extent, because obviously my man used to do things back in the day, not to that certain extent, but he reminds me of Raheem Sterling when he first started off in the Prem. Raheem Sterling when he first started off in the Prem. Wait, hold on. Wait. Listen to what I'm trying to say. When Raheem Sterling first started off in the Prem, he was very unpredictable. He used to beat a man, but he couldn't do the last little bit.
Yeah,
now,
I hear
I'm
that.
not trying to say. I'm not trying to say that say Maximin. I'm trying to call you Gucci man. Yeah, sorry, say Maximin. I'm trying to say Maximin is gonna come to the ilk of being able to do 25 to 30 goals a season like Raheem is doing right now. But all I'm trying to say is the way he plays, the touch that he's got. And listen, I watched him even though we beat Newcastle 4-1, he ripped. Obviously, Man United is not hard to rip apart, but he ripped us apart. He was running through, doing this little touch. Do you know them FIFA touches when you like 1-2 off your heel and then go through two man and then drag the ball over? He was doing all of that, and all the defenders falling over the place. They're just falling. We're just falling. Like, I'm not trying to say that he's going to get up to that stage, but the skill that he's got and the touch that he's got outside of the top six, I feel like if a coach or a manager takes that and wants to really, really get into that and horn that skill out of him and the work rate,
KJ,
will be up there.
I think he's got better.
Massive KJ.
I think he's better on the ball than Raheem was. I
Yeah.
genuinely think that.
Thank you, Indiana.
It doesn't remind me of it because I think one of the big things with Raheem Sterling was that a lot of the time his touch was poor.
Yeah,
and his crossing
was Maximin, his touch isn't
touch
poor.
and crossing.
But Jeremy, the reason why I disagree with your point is because, in my opinion, Sterling's actually. I think both the two players are actually unique. I feel like they have their own unique creature because it's been a while since I've actually seen such a short and light player actually be able to go into an advanced spot, which is the wing, and actually cut in and actually score goals and actually challenge like right backs and left backs in the league. And the thing is, when Raheem was at Liverpool, I do understand that because I wasn't just like obviously when I was nodding when I was like I was kind of expecting where you were going with this, but I can understand your point because Sterling is a great player in my opinion. I feel like he really does reach out to his potential sometimes, and I feel like he is going to still get up to the top one day. But in my opinion, people think he's not world class. That's up to them. They can actually say that because he isn't. But in my opinion, I think he's top class. I won't say world. I'd say top because he's not the best in his position. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, man. He's definitely a struggle for defenders.
So
we can't deny that.
Ads, who's your midfielder, mate?
Yeah, who's your midfielder?
The core, man.
Good chat. I mean, he's another very good player.
Cool.
That could be.
I can't disrespect the team. Cool.
No, he's a top performer, isn't he? You know, he's just. I mean, he got the move he deserved when he was at Watford. I always just thought that weren't for him. You know, so getting him
for real.
into an Everton or someone a little bit higher than them is good for him.
It's good for him. Yeah, no, you're right.
In Indiana, who's your midfielder, mate? If you're still there.
Midfielder.
Yeah.
Midfielder.
Or winger, midfielder.
Midfielder, and
yeah.
Wow. We've got to pick between wingers and midfielders.
Everything, just the one.
Just one. We just need
Grealish
to make the
has
show
to be
go.
Grealish. The guy.
Okay, so you're going with Jem's choice.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
My choice.
Yeah, I don't blame either. I don't blame either. I'm not trying to say that I do. I'm just like, okay, cool. I see how you agree.
No, I think if you've got to go on a player who's on form, that you could say will go into any team and can play multiple positions, can lead a team, can influence a game, can be a game changer, it has to be Grealish.
No, I hear you, and I would not disagree with you at all, Indiana. By the way, I wasn't trying to disagree with you. I was just trying to say you're going with James.
Indiana, do you know what I like though about Grealish?
Sorry, say that again.
You know what I like about him?
What do you like about him?
Before a game, you expect him to do something, and nine times out of 10, it always happens.
That's the maddest thing, isn't it? Yeah, he's very consistent. The consistency.
Most foul player in the Premier League. He's very good with the ball, and he's
very good with the ball, and very consistent with it.
He's very quick with the ball as well. Like the way he moves across the pitch, he opens up. You know what he does, which is very well. He's remind me a bit like Eden Hazard with the ball. He used to get the ball and he runs it. Yeah, and he drags players away and he makes space for strikers and whatever to run into.
Yeah, I bet when
that's
he
what he
makes
does.
His move, he don't get fat. I guarantee you this.
What I really like about him is what I really like about him, he signed his new contract and is actually performing. So,
yeah. Decision making is top class as well. Like he seems to always make the right decisions around the box.
Yeah.
I love that about him. Like that's the toughest thing to do.
And that's what I think, and you'll know Indiana because you've coached for a very long time. That's what separates the best from being a good player to a world class player, when you know how to make the right decisions in the game. You know.
Yeah.
And
to kind of
go on, mate.
One step ahead. This is my whole thing with, like I was saying to Ads earlier, like Fred's next level. The big thing for me with Fred,
passing.
The top players already know where the ball is going. That's where the top players manage to distance themselves away from the others, because they already know. They know 2 or 3 passes ahead. They can see these patterns in their mind. They know what's going to happen. Whereas some players, not just Fred, there's a lot of players, they like to take a touch on the ball and then look at their options. That has to be instinctive.
That's true.
And that's what I like about Grealish. It's always an instinctive thing. It doesn't always come off. You've got it now, Jem, with Ziyech. The way he plays is instinctive.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Go on,
Go on, James.
Go on, bro. Yeah, go on. I'm
Indiana, I just want to say this now. You're completely right. I feel like Aston does to improve, but we can't deny that. We can't say that it's horrible, because his vision is brilliant, in my opinion. I feel like even though the pass isn't complete, he knows where he wants to set the ball, if that makes sense. But even though taken with one touch, it shouldn't be happening. It should just be quick. But in recent times, he's been immense. His pass against Everton was just proved how good he can be, but he needs to just keep up the pace, man. And I feel like he will be next level one day, man. I feel like he'll be
Hold on. I just want to respond to the comment that's on there. I literally just one of the comments, I don't know how to work this, but I see this guy saying ASM is only rated because of FIFA. Listen, it's nothing to do with FIFA. If you watch football and you watch any bit of Newcastle since last year, this guy has been their best player, and it's not just it's not hard, obviously, but he excites even the people that don't support Newcastle, bro. He excites us because you don't know what he's gonna do, bro. He just does things. He just does things.
Can I just say something though, Lancey? I'm gonna say this now. Me, Indiana, and Jeremy actually know because he was actually outpacing our midfielders, and it took two of them to actually tackle it. So
Joe reminds me of actually. He was a very, very old player. I don't know if you remember, but he reminds me of JJ Okocha when he used to play at Bolton. He was so unpredictable with the ball.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a baller. I'm just saying in terms of in resemblances. I'm not saying he's on the same level or whatever. That's nothing to do with that. I'm just saying.
He reminds me of a hockey player who gets right to the goal, but they can't stop. So they crack.
Mighty Ducks. Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. Let's carry on. I just have to respond to that one because that one touched me, bro. I was like,
yeah, that's fine, bro. That's fine. Listen, let's go into the strikers. Now we've got a handful of them, haven't we?
I haven't picked mine yet.
You have?
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't. I've been waiting for you guys.
Oh, sorry.
He was.
You said Indeedy, bro.
yeah.
No, I indeed was an Indeedy thing. I just didn't pick mine.
All right, go on, bro. Sorry.
My one I'm picking, and I'm gonna take wingers out of it because I count them more towards the forward category.
Okay.
So I'm putting in João Moutinho.
Okay.
The vast experience that he has, and the calmness that he brings to that Wolves team. People like to talk about Ruben Neves, and as great as he is,
I think Ruben Neves is ever.
Wolves top six.
Yeah. What do you mean top six? Yeah, is in terms of
teams outside top six.
Are we doing traditional top six?
Because I go.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, I'm talking about.
Well, they finished outside top six, isn't it?
When we talk about top six, we're talking about top six clubs, supposed top six clubs outside the traditional top six. Yeah. So no, that makes sense. The only thing I'd say about Moutinho is that he doesn't play a lot anymore. I mean, I've been watching recently. He comes off the bench a lot more. Never seems to take a lot of the start. And then is it Dermot?
Yeah, but that's due to his. I know that's due to his age. But I'm just talking about the quality and what he actually.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. All right, let's go on to forwards. Yeah, there's a handful of guys you can pick off. I'm going to throw. I can't even pick one. I'm just going to throw three. I'm going to say Danny Ings, Vardy, and Raul Jimenez. They're my three. That's all I can think of.
Jamie Vardy's definitely there.
Danny Ings, he's got to be up there, isn't he? After his last season.
Okay. Let me think.
He was top goal scorer last
season. You know what?
Top goal,
I'm screaming it. I don't care. I'm screaming it. Ollie Watkins. I'm screaming it. Ollie Watkins.
In that case,
I'm screaming Ollie. I just got the black card on FIFA. Forget the FIFA. Take the chip out of it. Sorry.
As you're saying that, I'm going to scream Joe. I'm going to say Joe Linton.
No, bro. Listen,
Firmino.
No. Hold on.
Oh, outside top six.
Just look. Okay, cool. We can put Dan Ings in there, yeah? No problem. I do not disagree with that. But just look at what Ollie Watkins has done. That's all I'm saying, yeah? Since man has stepped up, just look at literally what he has done in the Premiership. Obviously, Dan Ings is going to be injured for a couple more weeks, so, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying, but you're obviously basing it on form. I'm just basing it on general and what I've seen over the course of the periods of Premier League.
Let me take form out of it. Let me take. Sorry. Nope, I'm taking Ollie Watkins from the Championship as well. When you got put into hold on, listen to this. Yeah. Ollie Watkins was a winger getting 15 goals a season at Brentford, right? Neil Maupay gets sold to Brighton. Now, Brentford take all the P. The owners take all the P, and they're like, well, we're not going to invest in the striker because we don't really think there's a striker in the market that's worth, because they've got the whole Moneyball thing going. So they're like, well, we don't really think there's a striker that's worth taking a punt on that's going to become the next best striker. So you've got to work with your team how you want. So the manager, the rock and roll style manager, my man takes Ollie Watkins, their left winger, and plays him as a striker. The first 4 games, he has a nightmare. And everyone thinking, can he be a striker? Can he do this, that? And then all of a sudden, at the end of the Championship, he is if it's not Mitrovic, it was him. One of them two got the golden boot for the Championship last season. After man had 4 games where everyone thought he's not going to be, and then man just started banging goals. He started off on the wing, went up front, because because the board said we're not going to feed you because you don't think of X, Y, and Z. So then the board and Bueno and Ben Rama, all them man started feeding Ollie Watkins, and man just started scoring goals.
Yeah.
Then he left them, and they said he's not going to do in the Prem. He's not going to do in the Prem. Boom, man comes in, has 2 games, bad start. 3rd game, bags a hat-trick against Liverpool, then he's off and running.
Mm-hmm.
What now?
No, I hear that. Look,
it's not even about form. When I look at Ollie Watkins, I'm taking Ollie Watkins for what he's been through in the last 3 years.
Yeah, and look, I'm gonna.
So if I take that out of it and I look at what that last 3 years, then you're very right in what you're saying. Danny Ings will go there over Ollie Watkins. I'm not disagreeing with you.
I will look. I'm not saying Ollie
Watkins
Watkins is a bad player. I didn't watch enough Championship football last season to say I've seen a lot of him, but I will be judging him on this season because obviously he's in the top. He's in the Premier League now. So from what I've seen so far, the guy's got talent. He's strong. He's quick. He scores goals. He can header. Like he looks like he's got potential to be something very special. So it's sort of one of them ones we're just gonna have to wait and see. But
very true.
Is that your guy, Jeremy? Yeah, Ollie Watkins. Yeah.
I'm gonna put Ollie Watkins in there. Yeah, that'll be my guy.
Cool. Winter Surfer.
Danny Ings. Just come back from the injury, horrific injury, banging in the goals for Southampton as well.
Yeah.
So he scores all type of goals,
No, he does.
And he's got good skill as well. He's not just like a penalty box.
He's an all-round, isn't he?
He's an all-rounder.
Yeah.
He's in my fantasy team, so
No, I agree on that, bro. I hear that. Indiana.
Jamie Vardy's the number 1, and no one can dispute that. But Danny Ings is a top player. I wouldn't be against him being the one.
I hear that as well. Prime.
Richarlison.
He always.
You know what? I like Richarlison. Richarlison is a bad boy.
You guys all laugh, but why is that funny? At least let me explain why.
No, I rate him as well. I'm not trying to get on to you. I'm actually agreeing with you as well, bro.
We see the importance. People talk about Calvert-Lewin, and he's amazing. But again, Jem, you brought up how bad Everton have been recently, and Calvert-Lewin hasn't done anything. Does that not show the importance of Richarlison in that side?
Yeah, but he's not. He doesn't play striker though, does he? He's playing left wing at the moment.
No, you said forward. Well, okay, fine. You said forwards, and I also said I'm not including wingers in my midfield discussion.
So you think he's a better forward than Jamie Vardy and Danny Ings and that?
No, I just gave you a different option.
It's your option. I'm just
I'm
just here to contest what you think.
I just gave a different option. It'd be easy to pick Vardy or Danny Ings.
I think
which I obviously agree with.
Prime, you're right. I think Richarlison's a big reason why Dominic Calvert-Lewin's had a good start to the season.
Him and
a massive part.
Also, like I already said, I'm not including wingers in the midfield discussion because they're not midfielders. I'm going to include them in the forward. So
if we put Richarlison in the top 6, do you think he'll bang up like tons of goals for
play to his strengths? Yeah.
Yes, and then
it's like any player. If you put Vardy in a top 16, but you don't play to his strengths, he's not going to be getting goals, is he?
Yeah, I hear that. That makes a lot of sense.
Danny Ings was scored 40
but then Richarlison scored like 11 Premier League goals for like Watford 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richarlison for Watford, like 3 years ago. That's the first team that he joined. He scored like 11 goals. That's why Everton paid 50 mil for him.
Watford is that irrelevant. I don't even remember.
I think it was like, I'm sure it was like even 9 or 11 goals or something.
Ads, who are you going for, bro?
I'm gonna say Danny Ings, but obviously because I feel like he's great. But
not Ollie Watkins.
No, but not that. I have to give a quick shout out to my boy Danny Welbeck, man, because I think he's a good player. No, hear me out. I'm not saying I'd start.
Do you know him?
I'm saying no.
He loves him.
No. 1 second.
Do you know what? Yeah, I feel like Danny Welbeck has signed a shirt for him back in the day. Like he knows his fan.
1 second. No, 1 second, lads. 1 second, lads. What I'm trying to say is, I would select Danny Ings, but I'm giving a shout out to Danny Welbeck. I think he's an okay striker.
Yeah, no,
you're right. Daniel Welbeck, I think, starts for two.
1 second, lads. 1 second. Go on, Prime.
I think Danny Welbeck starts for at the very least 2, maybe 3 of the top 6 teams.
Yes,
Really?
easy. He's a winger as well. He can play winger, a striker.
He starts for Arsenal over Lacazette.
Yes.
He could play at Man United at right wing.
Mm-hmm.
What?
No, he could, Jem. I'm joking.
Arguably, he could start at Spurs, at least get on the bench anyway.
Yes.
Three of the top six.
No, Jeremy. Everyone here, I have to say he's right because I think Welbeck is because obviously me and Prime have had discussions with Welbeck like together, like on calls whilst we've been talking about football. But I just want to say one thing, right? The truth is, even if he doesn't start for those teams, he's still a great squad player. Doesn't matter.
I'm not disagreeing with the fact that he might be a great squad player.
You're not getting a Man United team.
He's right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So everyone
no.
stop talking and let me explain why.
Okay.
Arsenal, he starts over Lacazette because he brings more to the team than Lacazette does. And Man United, they don't have a right winger. Who are you going to play? Dan James? Greenwood is apparently a striker, and you don't want to waste that young.
Be a better right winger.
All right, cool, bro.
No, he's not. He's not.
Add stop as well. Let me finish. You put at least at right wing, he's a better option, I would say, than Dan Greenwood because you'd want Greenwood to be focusing on growing as a striker. Dan James, you guys don't want him to play. You think he's bad. Cool. Juan Mata is not good playing right wing because that right hand side gets exposed for Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
You look at Spurs. Does he start? No, probably not. But he gets in the squad. At Liverpool, does he get in the squad? Probably yeah, because Jurgen Klopp likes those sort of players. Look at Origi; he's better than Origi. Does he get in at City? Maybe, and as a squad player. Does he get in at Chelsea? No, but at least 3 of the top 6 he does, or 2 of the top 6.
Have I missed something and banged my head?
No,
that's what I'm thinking.
You guys are no for real. On a real, yeah. Let's not.
It's not even. It's not even on the
better. I'm gonna be honest. He's better than wingers that have been at most clubs in recent years. Let's be honest.
I love that guy. I love that guy Welbeck. I loved him when he came through at Manchester United when he was 19 and he banged that goal in the top right hand corner straight on his debut. He went on loan to Sunderland, scored 8 goals, came back, went on loan again, scored another 8 or 12 goals, came back, started doing his thing. Then we sold him to Arsenal, done his thing. Yeah, listen, Danny Welbeck. There is no way that Danny Welbeck can even come on that right wing and do better than what Mata has. Listen. Look at Mata's output. Even if you took Mata's output on the right wing for the last 3 years and you compare it to Danny Welbeck's, Mata beats Danny Welbeck. Mata has scored more goals, got more assists in the last 3 years than Danny Welbeck has.
Jeremy, I would expect him to because Juan Mata plays in a better team. That doesn't prove anything for me. 2, Juan Mata. No, stop. 2, Juan Mata is not a right winger. He will get exposed if he's playing there.
Jeremy, stop. Go on, Prime.
He would get exposed playing as a right winger. I'm saying as an option, it's a better option that's there. Man United don't have Jadon Sancho right now. Arsenal don't have a world-class striker playing up front. So as better options than what they currently have, Welbeck would be just as good, if maybe not better.
Okay, no problem.
I want to jump in. I know. 1 second, Jeremy. 1 second. I just want to say one thing. I want to say one thing, right? First of all, let's not say that Mata would ever do better on the right-hand side of Welbeck, because Welbeck can play wing or right wing, and he's perfected that at most clubs that he's been at. I feel like for us to say that he's not a good player is disgraceful. Proven and he gets into those teams.
I'm not saying that.
But no, to be honest, okay. But I think if you're gonna work to Dan James, I don't even think that should be happening because, in my opinion, Welbeck is way better than Dan James, and even if Dan James improves, it will still be the case. So let's not say Dan James gets over Welbeck, and let's not say Matt gets over Welbeck because
no problem.
Welbeck is stronger and sets in way better balls and actually provides way better service than them two have ever had.
One question then. All them 3 players, all them 3, Danny Welbeck, Dan James, and Juan Mata, all them 3 players, name me, 2 of those that will give you at least a full season.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Can I just
Well, I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna say this now. 1 second, Surfer. I just want to say this now. There's only realistically we've seen it time and time again. No. 1 second. There's literally okay, but that doesn't matter though because Danny Welbeck could get injured at the start of the season, come back late, and still have a better season than them. And that probably would happen as well because they're not consistent enough. And the only reason why Welbeck is not consistent is because he's always injured. And when he comes back from injury, he's consistent.
Also, by that logic you brought up, Danny Ings is injury prone as well. So we shouldn't count him.
Danny Ings is not injury prone because Danny Ings has had 2 bad injuries that cost him his Liverpool career. It's only 2 really bad injuries.
serious injuries.
Exactly.
That you
cool. And we now have another one at Southampton.
Listen,
That's
do me a favor, yeah. Look at Danny Ings' injury record. You will see he only has serious injuries, and then the minor tissue injuries that you get that any footballer gets every other year. He's literally had 3 serious injuries and then minor injuries thereafter. Okay?
I'm bringing up the point of if you're just going to use injuries for a player, you do it for anyone.
No, because Danny Welbeck. Listen to this, Danny Welbeck. If you look at Danny Welbeck's injury record, even in the last 3 years, add it up in comparison to Danny Ings' 3 big injuries, and I can guarantee you Danny Ings has spent probably maybe like a week or 2 more than Danny Welbeck on the bench in the last 3 years with his big injuries. Danny Welbeck, I'm a Man United fan, bro. Listen, I remember Danny Welbeck from when he was 19. Danny Welbeck was about 3 years older than me. Do you know what I'm saying? So I remember him from when I was a youth. Danny Welbeck has always been injury prone in terms of like he will give you 10 games and then miss 30. That's what I mean by Danny Welbeck.
He's missed like 200 games since his injury at Arsenal. He's missed 200 games.
I'm not disrespecting because he's a good
player. And then he's scoring world-class goals. He's scoring world-class goals for
I'm not disrespecting that at all. Listen, I am not disrespecting that at all. I rate players that are great, they've got great ability and all those types of things. But if I take my emotion out of me rating a player and I look at a player, how I rate a player, and I look at their injury records and everything, and I want to be fair, you have to be fair and look at the fact that Danny Welbeck, the amount of time he's been injured, if you're comparing to other players, you also have to take into account the other players' injury records. Now, when players are not getting injured and they're in the same bracket as Danny Welbeck, you've got to think like, will this player not give me more output because he's on the pitch more than Danny Welbeck? And then you look at Danny Welbeck's output, and it's not that high.
No one's like Danny Welbeck.
Listen, boys,
Jeremy.
Boys, ads. I'm going to cut it because we were sitting and talking about Welbeck.
Can I answer that what Ram said?
Go
on, one more thing quickly.
Also, can I answer that what Ram said?
Go on, Prime. What
Ram
put it up if you want to.
Did Prime just say Welbeck over Origi? Some specific stuff.
Yeah. Did you listen to the full thing I said, Rams, or are you getting triggered off the little thing I said? I said arguably. Because to be honest, how good is Origi actually if he doesn't even start for Liverpool? When Firmino doesn't actually get goals.
Oh no, tell me about it. It's ridiculous.
Origi is good.
100%,
in my opinion,
100% Welbeck over Origi.
Let me finish. Okay, guys, can I finish? In my opinion, I don't think Origi's better than Batshuayi. I think if Welbeck's fit, I don't think Origi is that much better than Welbeck. But again, it's my opinion. You don't agree with it, that's cool, but don't have to get salty over it, bro.
And anyway, you can talk to Ram about that off air because these guys talk all the time.
I'd rather. Hey, one question, Jem. One question for you, Jem.
Yeah.
Giroud or Abraham? Mon ami Giroud or Abraham?
There's no argument really. If it's on form.
See, the thing is, right? Last season, if Olivier Giroud didn't, because he was third choice at the time, if he didn't come in and do what he did for us, I don't think we would have got Champions League because he accumulated so many points at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And Tammy Abraham had lost form. Tammy Abraham started off very well, but then he just kind of just dabbed off. And I feel like that Giroud should have been involved a bit more. So it's hard because it was Tammy Abraham. I think he's good, but then Olivier Giroud for me as a second striker coming off the bench is probably one of the best to bring on and get you a goal. Like he just gives you a completely different
everything
option.
from it, don't you? So
Yeah, so for me, I'd say it probably. I know Abraham plays a lot at the moment in form, and he's playing very well. I'd probably still choose Giroud. I ain't gonna lie.
That's Jem. You see, I could banter you, but I know you understand football.
Yeah.
Football.
Well, I will say I think
Prime,
he's going to
Giroud
be
or
better this season.
All right.
No. Giroud, Prime. Just like over the last, your own personal opinion, Giroud or Abraham, Prime.
Over what?
Just your own personal opinion, Giroud or Abraham. As a Chelsea fan, you're looking at how your team's been playing. You're looking at how they've played when either player has been on. Giroud or Abraham.
I personally would have been putting in Giroud. However, you can't deny how well Tammy.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Hey, listen, I actually wasn't even finished with what I was saying at all.
No, I was just trying. Yeah, go on, Karen, brother.
Go on, Prime.
I personally would have been Giroud, just based on how he finished last season and how poor Tammy was. I think Giroud deserves it. I still think he does deserve it, but you can't deny the impact Tammy has brought to the team and he's played.
Yes.
He's linked up well. Last season, the big criticism I had towards him was the fact that he's like 6'4", and yet he can't hold up the ball and link people into play. He seems to have improved on that this season. He also seems to be more clinical, which is weird because he hasn't scored as many goals at this period last season as he did. But he's also playing with better players, which does help raise your level as well. So I think you can't deny Tammy does have to be playing right now. But if you had asked me like about a month ago or two, who would I have played? I would have picked Giroud. But Tammy's playing and he deserves it. And Giroud's the better player, obviously.
You're a Chelsea fan as well.
Let's
we're done.
I hit that part. We need to.
Yeah.
Go on, Andrew. Go on, bro.
Go Winter Server. Go on, mate. Finish it off for us.
Giroud for last season, but Tammy's probably going to score more and get better this season. So I'll stick with Tammy because he's the future. So.
Okay.
And I hear that. And on that note, what we'll do is we're going to leave because we've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes.
Exactly.
So as usual again. But
20 minutes about work.
I'll give you.
But
you guys.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't even meant to come on tonight. I come off on the terrace and I was like, do you know what? I fancy doing the show, but we thought, what can we talk about? I wanted to do something a little bit different. Do you know what I mean? Because I wanted to get away from the top six and concentrate on other things. But
bro, listen, Jem. Let me tell you one thing. Yeah, keep doing. When you get ideas in your head, keep doing it. Write it down and get, because that's the whole point of building a channel, bro.
Well, this is it.
You get me?
And we've got a lot of ideas at the moment, and we we don't want to release them all yet. You know what I mean? But we're gonna do. You'll see each week there's gonna be something new because we want to try and be a little bit different, but we want the channel to grow as well. So we need you guys to help us get it out there and do your bit if you can. And we appreciate that. But go on, guys. Shout out your socials if you want. Starting with Jeremy. Where can they find you?
You can find me at on Twitter. I'm on J_Warns or Warns, so it's J_WARNS, and then that's my Twitter. I'm there. You get me? So yeah, man, there. So
all good. Wicked.
Prime, what you, bro?
That is my Twitter right there. Also, check out the TFT Out Context on Twitter as well, and just check out the Terrace on Twitter.
Prime, tell me about your Twitch thing though, bro. I've been watching you on Twitch, I want to play you on FIFA. I'm gonna add you on FIFA afterwards, Prime. Tell me about the Twitch thing, man.
Andrew, what are you saying, bro? Shout your stuff, bro.
Just on Twitter at the Winter Surfer.
Sweet.
Let's go back to
Indiana.
Indiana's here. Go on.
There's my Twitter right there, Indiana IMO, and go and check out the First 11 new channel, new platform. Got some exciting things coming, exciting podcasts, interviews with YouTubers. We're going to do Fraud Watch, which I'm looking forward to, and everyone's going to get involved on that. And covering the whole EPL and all the cup competitions, and hopefully I'll have fun with it. So go and check
Let them know, brother. Big up to Indiana, man.
And make sure you're sharing this stream, man. Make sure you're sharing this stream.
Yeah, please,
and
guys,
getting everyone involved.
Please. Much appreciated. Prime, go on, get your Twitch in, bro.
Yeah, my Twitch is Latimus Prime 8 on Twitch. Also, keep clocked in to my Twitter because I might be doing something. Might be happening in the next few days.
Yes,
So.
he has.
Say no
Got
more.
something
Love
interesting.
that. We love
It's
that.
the tease.
And
got
you
something
know
coming on.
where to find me and Jem. The
Yes,
links are in
people.
the description. Thank you, people, again for plus 10 views consistently. It's been a massive day for us all.
I know.
Over 200 subscribers in 3 days, lads.
I love that.
Guys.
Come on, bring up the channel, GNA TV. Book, come on.
What you saying?
energy.
And I just want to say a big thanks to the panelists as well. Thanks for coming on. You'll see a lot more of these guys as we go along. And Jeremy, nice meeting you. It's nice seeing you on here.
Nice seeing you on here as well,
Jeremy,
bro.
man.
Listen, I'll be there all the time, guys. Come on, listen, Jem, I told you from before.
Yeah, I know you
good,
did.
man.
Yeah, we saw.
All good.
Yeah, appreciate it. But yeah, other than
guys,
that, go on.
This has been GNA TV, and we're out in a bit.
We're out.
I still want to act, not the ghost.